Somebody says, I love your video. I wish my boundaries and standards led me to friends, but it led me to be an old cat lady. Sometimes we all gotta settle, or it leads to a life alone. I regret my boundaries. Company would be wonderful, but yeah, I'm not dying. Let's talk about this comment, you guys. This is very real and deep. Friendship breakups have hurt me worse than any romantic relationship I've attempted, so as an adult, I'm very scared of making new friends, but having moved states, I feel the need to have friends that I can see in person. Alright, you guys, we got another one. We got another interesting one that I think is very essential for us maturing or aging individuals out there in the world. Friendships. There's this creator, her name is Christina Aaliyah, and I think she had some valid points on this particular video I'm going to go over, and I just kind of want to showcase this and bring this out because I resonated with some of it. It's about 11 minutes, but I'm only going to go over like 2 parts and sort of just put in my 2 cents on the matter, and then I'm going to go through her comment section and we are going to hear what the people have to say. So let's tune in.
Someone who doesn't know their worth is going to attract unhealthy relationships and friendships. Because when you're the sort of person that needs reassurance, you're going to attract someone who knows how to manipulate that and is going to give you the reassurance, but then also give you a bunch of crap as well and tell you horrible things and make you feel insecure. But they'll give you reassurance and they'll give you, like, it's such a back and forth, and I feel like that's such a toxic friendship or a toxic relationship. When you know your worth, you don't care about the reassurance. I don't need you to reassure me. I don't care if you agree with me or not. I can say my opinion and I don't care.
I think this is really important because unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are insecure, and it's normal. Of course, we're human beings, and these things never really work out within friendships or relationships. I'm just going to speak specifically like from relationships, because the last woman that I was with, she was insecure and it did not work out in the long run. I think I have noticed that most people in the dating landscape should not even be dating in the first place. Honestly, there are a lot of people out there dating are not even healthy enough to be dating. You guys heard of the term serial daters? Maybe, I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it's because I'm on the West Coast in California. I haven't been to the Midwest, but there is a lot of people that do that out this way. It made me check myself. Like my last relationship, I was like, why am I dating these like, this isn't me at my core, but I find myself with these sort of, women. And so now I'm kind of like, okay, I can't, the whole like insecurity thing, the whole, I just pay attention to so many different things. Like if she was raised like in a single parent household with no father figure, generally speaking, I have seen how this plays out into their character and personality, and it doesn't go well. If you're a woman maybe and you've dated a man that had, that kind of has these issues, and they come up in different ways between the sexes. Like with men, they usually have like anger issues and they struggle with like this is a very general thing. But I agree with her as far as like the insecurities and things like that is definitely, you got to deal with those, both men and women.
That's the sort of person that has healthier friendships because you're not depending on them for reassurance. The game of making friends and making friendships is just a game of confidence, and confidence is such a big word. It's so used a lot on TikTok and like Instagram and YouTube. Like it's such a big broad word, but really it's just confidence in yourself, like not caring if people agree with you or not, like being unapologetic. It's tough for people pleasers because I feel like we are so apologetic. We say sorry all the time and we care what people think, and we do everything for other people almost. You don't do much for yourself, you do everything to please everyone else. It's tough because people pleasing is such a comfort zone thing. Like people say like stand up for yourself, be yourself, and I'm saying it in this video, like be confident in who you are, but it's hard because it's like that's your comfort zone is hiding who you are, not being yourself, silencing what you want to say and not speaking up for what you believe in. That's what's comfortable, and it's so uncomfortable. It's literally itchy and uncomfortable to like say something completely like unpopular.
This is also another big thing, especially today, where people today, and obviously we all know this, don't have a backbone like how they used to back then, because everyone is so sensitive and no one wants to hurt everyone's feelings and whatnot. You say XYZ against the XYZ group, then we need to demonize you. We need to take your job. We need to take everything that you've had. But this actually works against us, right? That's why people who are charismatic or are confident are so appealing and attractive, both men and women. This works both for the masculine and the feminine. Like someone who is authentically themselves, someone essentially who isn't black and white, like where they stand, right? You might not like what they have to say, but that person said what they said and they just went on with their life. That person is going to be more attractive. And this is something we see less of today because people are scared to say certain things because they don't want to hurt your feelings. It's like, no, who are you, right? Say it with your chest. This is how you feel. Say it. Whether people agree with you or not, and then go from there. Like, that is magnetic. And that is something out here in the West we unfortunately are really, really losing. And it's sad. So I agree with her on this as well. That's something that you got to do. And I think, even in my comment section, if you guys don't agree with me, speak your mind. Like, we can go back and forth. I might even do a whole video on that. So like, I respect people who are authentic and who speak their mind, whether it's rude or not. Like, hey, they said that. And like, I like it when there's no gray area, right? Oh, this person is this. Okay, because now it's not a guessing game. We don't have to look at this person and raise a brow like, you know, like, we know, oh, she XYZ or he's XYZ. So yeah, I agree.
Or say something that people are going to disagree with. That feels so scary. It's like threatening, like when you think about stepping out of your comfort zone in that way, it threatens like your safety. You just feel so uncomfortable. But honestly, when I started making the steps to do that a few years ago, when you do it once, you can do it again and you can do it again and you can do it again. And it honestly is such the best feeling. Like, no amount of money can buy that feeling. You can say something that's like, oh, and you don't care if people agree with you or not. Like, it's such a good feeling. Last point, you are the sort of friend that you want to have. You're just not confident enough to show it. I guarantee you, if you're watching this video, you have so many amazing traits. You're probably the nicest person that you know. You're probably really kind. You're probably always there for your friends. You're probably willing to go above and beyond. But part of you shows that when you're trying to make friends, when you're meeting new people. But there's an element of it which I know is probably not coming through because you're too scared. Insecurities are so annoying because they've put a cap on who you can be. Like, it's tough when you know you can do something, you want to do something, you want to put yourself out there, but you're insecure. It like puts a limit, it puts like a limit on how far you can go, how much you can express yourself. But I promise, one step in the right direction. Once you do it once, you can do it again and again and again and again, and you will feel.
I would say, I think that this sounds like something women might more so struggle with, as far as, you know, not feeling like you can be, or what did she say again? I want to double back because I don't want to mess up her what she said. Oh, right here. You are the sort of friend you want to have. You're just not confident enough to show it. I like just hearing that. I'm like, this is probably something that women may struggle mostly with. Not saying that men don't, but as a man who's been around men, and this just isn't something that a man struggles with that I generally hear. I would say, like, you're just not confident enough to. Men are just usually themselves off the jump. Like, there is no. It just is what it is. So I'm like, I feel like women might, or I think that women might struggle with this more so than men. Anyways, I just kind of wanted to bring this up because, especially with age, and you know, I'm even, I guess I'll just speak from the heart right now. I'm someone that has always had friends growing up for the most part. I've always had a friend group. This is the first time in my life where I don't have a friend group. I actually did a whole series on this on my page. And you guys could watch that if you want. I had a whole group of friends. You know, I thought these people were my family. I thought they were going to be at my wedding. They were considered family. I was considered family, like the whole 9 yards, right? And then we had a following out, and it just was, I promise you, like, that friend group that betrayed me, and it was betrayed. It was like, it hurt worse than like an actual breakup with a girlfriend. Oftentimes that's the case, which is crazy. Fun fact, actually, one person from this particular friend group that I'm speaking of sent me these huge messages just the other day. And I think it's because they saw me on Jubilee. I was on there recently. Sent me these huge messages. And I'll tell you guys, after I read those messages, I'm glad I don't talk to them anymore. Initially, I was hurt and I felt betrayed. But after seeing like what this particular person sent me, I'm like, I don't need them in my life. This is crazy. Went on a very sidebar. I kind of like lost my train of thought. But yeah, as you grow up, you know, making new friends is a lot harder. There's not a lot of room for adults to make friends in that. You know, when you're in school, when you're in college, you know, it's easier to meet people. Usually people meet like their boyfriends and girlfriends, or, you know, wives and husbands. But like once you become an adult, once you kind of get past that, you have to actually be intentional about making new friends, right? You have to actually go to events. You have to actually do things that put you in a space to where you can make friends. And beyond that, you have to meet or make the right friends. And I'm speaking from experience. And I've said this a lot on my previous videos, but there's just certain traits now that I see that people have that they won't have access to my heart, and that they won't be within my friend group. They're not people I'm going to like spend time with, right? I think I'm pretty keen on what you should look for or not look for when meeting new people. So you do have to watch that, because people are snakes. I'm speaking, I'll probably go as far as to say most people are snakes, especially today, right? Most people are fake. So be very careful about that. Whew, let's get into some comments of what people are saying and Miss Aaliyah's comment section. Right here, look at this. Friendship breakups have hurt me worse than any romantic relationship I've attempted. So as an adult, I'm very scared of making new friends, but having moved states, I feel the need to have friends that I can see in person. I didn't even go like over this comment ahead of time, but I resonate with that. I'm telling you, like, my last friend group literally betrayed me. Imagine, okay, being betrayed by one best friend is very painful, right? Imagine being betrayed by, I think it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them collectively. They just stop talking to you. You don't know why. Everyone's ignoring you. It is the weirdest feeling, right? It is like it was like a new feeling for me, because it's never happened. I remember going to, there's a comic book store downtown in the city I live, right? And I went in there. I was just walking around one day. This sounds like a movie. It was a nice day too. And a friend, and she's like an acquaintance. We've hung out in the past, you know, friends having friends, and she's been around. And anyways, we knew each other. And she was working there at this comic book store. Cool girl. We were talking. She was like, "What happened to so-and-so?" I'm not going to say their name. And I told them pretty much the rundown. And she was like, I remember she was the one who said it. She was like, "Sometimes those friendships hurt worse than breakups." And I was like, "Yeah, that's literally how I feel. It's like the weirdest feeling." And she just went on, and she was really resonating with me. I was like, dang, that is so real. And so, yeah, to see this comment right here, it is very true. And to maybe, I don't know, people who haven't experienced that, you probably think that sounds ridiculous, but it really does not, man. When people do you wrong that you trust, like imagine your best friend, or, you know, a family friend, somebody extremely close to you does something so left field, and they're so cutthroat, they don't even care. They just move on. You're like, what? I babysit your daughter or your son, like, right? Like, what? It's like, it's the trippiest feeling. It's the trippiest feeling. What else we got here? This person says, "I'm just tired, man. College has effing obliterated me. Literally never been this lonely. It took one huge friendship breakup to completely disable my social life." Oftentimes this can happen. That happened to me. It took me a while to sort of get out of that place when your closest people, I mean, I'm like, dude, me and these friends, like, we had holiday parties together, Halloween parties, Christmas parties, every year, New Year's party. Like, we would do I pretty much saw them every other day for 3 years straight, right? So when people that are close to you do you wrong, it really can mess with your head. Somebody says, "I love your video. I wish my boundaries and standards led me to friends, but it led me to be an old cat lady." Sometimes we all gotta settle, or it leads to a life alone. I regret my boundaries. Company would be wonderful, but yeah, I'm not dying. Let's talk about this comment, you guys. This is very real and deep. Wow, they said I sometimes we all gotta settle, or it leads to a life alone. I regret my boundaries. Okay, I want to focus on the I regret my boundaries. You guys, listen, everything, there has to be a balance, right? And I seriously mean that. Boundaries are important. No one is going to tell you boundaries are not important. But if you have too much of a boundary, too many boundaries where no one can penetrate, like we cannot even connect, that's when it's a problem. And you have to know when you're going too left field, right? Respectfully, have boundaries. But if you want to meet people, you do have to be open. If somebody asks you out, go out with them. If somebody invites you out to an event and you don't have work or you don't have anything going on, be curious. Curiosity is very important, right? Go. You might meet someone. You might meet your boyfriend. You might meet your girlfriend, wife, husband. You might just get a new friend, which is also very important. You could form a new connection or not. The idea is you are being curious. So you do have to go out there and put yourself out there. So be careful with the boundaries. Also, she says sometimes we all got to settle or it leads to a life alone. I don't like the idea of settling because now it just kind of seems like the person that you are going to settle with is like I'm just here with him or her just because. And no one wants to be that person. So from what I see, it seems like this person, Alex, needs to work on herself in some ways, right? I don't know. I appreciate the realness and the rawness of this comment. But at the same time, it seems like she might need to work on herself in some ways. You don't ever want to settle for someone, right? If you're with someone, it's because you appreciate them, right? No one wants to feel like they're less than. But I appreciate the raw realness right here. Be careful with your boundaries. Have boundaries, but don't let it be so extreme to where no one can penetrate it. I'm going to go over another comment. Let's see. Someone says, I feel like I'm too exhausted to get into a long-term friendship. It's a bit tiring. It can be, but that's like any relationship. Obviously, it takes some pouring into a relationship. And when I say relationship, I'm talking about everything. Friendships, like romantic relationships. Excuse me. It takes action. You are pouring into this person, right? A friendship, a relationship is both ways. It's back and forth, back and forth. Not just one person doing all of it. And you trust me, you'll know when you're the one. If like when you say to yourself, all right, I'm just going to stop sending what's her name or what's his name a message, right? Or I'm going to stop calling what's his name or what's her name. And a year, 2 years, 3 years goes by and you never hear from them. They were never your friend. It seems like that person was settling with you when they were hanging out. And no one wants to be that person, which is kind of my point. Man. Anywho, let me know what you guys think of this video. Maybe this video will help you examine your friendships. Do you have solid friends in your circle, or are there some friends in your circle that you're kind of looking at sideways or you feel uneasy about for whatever reason? Let's talk about that in my comment section and examine that and see what that's about. So yeah, let me know what you guys think of the video, and I'll see you guys next time.